At 22 years old, I had a 1.9 GPA, and I quit my university basketball team after a huge blow up with my coach. The very next day, I dropped out of university with $50,000 of student loan debt. On top of all this, I was also in a relationship at the time that I had no business being in. Now fast forward 18 months later, I went back and finished my degree, and I paid off every single dollar of debt. And for the first time in my life, I got a small glimpse of what I was actually capable of. I'm 32 years old now, and over the last 10 years, I spent well over $100,000 on different mentorships, education, abandoning old belief systems, and then replacing them with what actually works in real life. Here's what I discovered. Everything that I was taught was designed just to make me compliant, not capable. The nice guy that I became had finished last every single time, and I had the privilege of watching the asshole in front of me get everything that he wanted every single time. And what I learned is that's not actually a flawed system. It's just a system working exactly as nature intended it to. See, society doesn't train you to win. It just trains you to be a good boy. But somewhere along the line, I stopped listening to what I was supposed to be doing. And what I started studying is what actually works. How money moves, how power operates, how to influence people, why some men rise and why other men stay at the bottom forever. And the men who figure this out are the ones who are willing to abandon whatever feels comfortable and learn what feels true instead, despite how hard it is. Those are the men who break free. And that's what I want to show you here today. Pillar number one is training. There are two things that training actually teaches you. Number one, you learn to consistently put yourself in an uncomfortable situation and to learn where your mind is going to run to when things get very, very difficult. Does it look for an exit? Do you start negotiating with yourself? Once you know when it does under a barbell, you know where it's going to run everywhere else. In business, in a hard conversation, in a moment where you want to quit, training is just the safest place to learn that about yourself. And number two, you learn to stick with something long enough to actually get good at it. Over the last 10 years, I have made the biggest mistake in the book, jumping from training program to training program. First it was CrossFit, then bodybuilding, and whatever some guy off Instagram was doing that month. When I got bored of something, I convinced myself it stopped working, and I jumped ship, and then round and round it went. I never gave my body an actual chance to adapt to something. Here's what actually works. Pick movements you enjoy doing. So you look forward to the gym and you can commit to 12 weeks without switching a thing. Every single week, try to beat your last week's performance and effort by increasing the reps or increasing the weight. Then your body has no choice but to grow. 12 weeks, no changing, then we'll reassess. Number two is nutrition. Training without proper fuel is just a waste of time, guys. You can grind for months on end and see no results if this piece is broken. If you're chasing a bodybuilding Olympia stage, by the way, this is not going to be for you. This is just for the rest of us, men who want to look good and feel good in their body without making training an entire second job. I want you to track what you eat for a few weeks. Just long enough so where you can know what your baseline is. Run a few numbers, dial in your macros slightly. Build 4 or 5 meals a day around your macros. And after a few weeks, you'll know just by feel that when you stop counting, then you can just build 4 or 5 meals a day around your macros. And after a few weeks, you'll know it just by feel. That's when you can stop counting and just stay within that range. It's just 80-20, guys. You're not eating dry chicken and rice for the rest of your lives, but know what you're doing instead of eating whatever's in front of you. And learn to cook and learn to shop for real food. Pillar 3 is rewiring the brain. Now this one is the one I take the most serious because without this, none of the other pillars are going to compound the way that they're supposed to. When I was 29, I moved to Toronto with almost no money to take a 100% commission job with zero sales experience to work under a mentor that I just met 30 days prior. Now this guy was pulling in over $1 million a year, so I DM'd him on Instagram for 3 months straight before he finally answered, and he told me that if I moved from where I am to closer to him, he would mentor me personally, so I did. Now the first 4 months nearly broke me. Second guessing every move that I made, waking up with crippling anxiety every single day. Worst case scenario, running in a loop in my head. No sales meant no money, and Toronto was not a cheap city to live in. Finally, I made a rule with myself that if my mind was going to spiral, it has to spiral towards best case scenario, not worst case scenario. Because worst case scenario doesn't even exist. It's just 100% made up in my mind. So if my mind was gonna make things up either way, it was gonna make things up to benefit me and work with me instead of against me. I know that sounds simple, but I promise you it was like wrestling a bull at the time. That's just one piece of it. But inside Sovereign Men, we're gonna go a lot further. What it actually costs to win, and whether you're willing to pay that price. How to protect your time and energy from people who want to drain it without even asking you. And when to show the world exactly what you're feeling and when it's important to wear a mask in front of them. Pillar 4 is money. You do not get to move through life blind to how money works, gentlemen. I'm not telling you that money should run your entire life, but it is a weapon, and if you don't learn how to use it, you are going to lose it. I was $50,000 in debt at 22 years old, working over 70 hours a week at $15 an hour. I had one single goal, and it was to kill my debt by any means necessary, and nothing else mattered to me. Because if you're sitting in bad debt, nothing you even touch really belongs to you. Every single dollar you make belongs to someone else. So get out of bad debt as fast as humanly possible, because your life genuinely depends on it. Good debt is a lot different, and we're gonna get to that. But once you're debt free, the game changes completely for you. It's not about survival anymore. It's about multiplying what you have with the tools available to you. And remember, slow is smooth and smooth is fast when it comes to money. Before we go through the pillars, guys, I only want to say this one time. If you are bored of your own excuses and you are ready to change the man that you are today, then let's create you a better one. And I say create literally, brick by brick, step by step. Who you are right now, gentlemen, it's just an accumulation of experiences, and you've attached the wrong meaning to those experiences without knowing any better. Somewhere along the lines, you built your belief systems off bad information, and you have been carrying them nonstop ever since. This curriculum is made to tear the roof off those belief systems and replace them with ones that actually work in real life every single day. You are going to unlearn what does not serve you and hasn't served you for years on years. And you are going to master what actually does, not piecing it together from 100 different sources, not knowing which one is true and which one works. I promise you, everything I'm going to show you is what I have experienced myself, and I know for a fact works in real life. Stick with me. Pillar 5 is communication and influence. Gentlemen, being charismatic and well-spoken is not enough to get you by. There is an actual mechanism behind persuasion and influence, and most men have never studied it a day in their lives, which is exactly why it is being used against you without you even realizing it. That's the first reason to even learn this, is to defend yourself against other people running these tactics on you without you even realizing. Now, the second reason is to get on the offensive end. That's the real framework for getting what you want. And it's stupid for you not to understand these things. Matter of fact, it is irresponsible not to learn these tactics. And I'm not telling you to walk around manipulating every single person that you see by any means. But if you're not intentional about how you communicate, someone else is going to be intentional about how they communicate to you. Humans make decisions emotionally. Then they back up those decisions with logic afterwards. Now, once you understand that, you learn to speak straight to those emotional triggers. You move people in directions that they believe are their own ideas, and they justify it with whatever logic makes the most sense to them. They never even feel your hand on the wheel at all. Now, we go a lot deeper into those exact frameworks, but understand this: the men who have studied this walk around with a confidence about them that you wouldn't believe, because they know exactly what they're doing. Pillar 6 is power and strategy. Now, most men don't have a clue how power actually works. Now, they're playing a game without even understanding the rules to it, and they're losing without having a single fair chance at winning. If there's one thing in this life you have to understand, gentlemen, it's how power works. How to make people depend on you when you need them to respect you from fear instead of likability, when it's important to show empathy, and when it's important to rip your enemies apart just to send a message to anyone watching. And this isn't paranoia, by the way. It is awareness. And awareness changes everything, from how you read a room, to how you read one individual person, to how you make a decision before the other guy even knows what's coming. Now we're gonna take a very deep dive inside the chapter of power with sovereign men, but understand this: the men who think this way are operating on a level that you will never reach unless you start studying this topic. Pillar 7 is relationships. The quality of the people around you will set the bar for the quality of your entire life. That is non-negotiable, that is non-debatable. Now it is 2026, and the gender war content online has never interested me, and it never will. If you've convinced yourself that men and women do not need each other, you are 100% bitter. You are not enlightened. You are not intelligent. You are a hurt individual. And don't let one or two bad situations make the entire other gender the enemy. That is illogical. This pillar isn't about that. It's not about determining who's better, men or women. What it's actually about is two completely different worlds. The first one is how to communicate with the opposite sex while maintaining attraction and respect. And that is a skill. Number 2, it's about how to communicate with the people you actually love and trust without any games, just honesty and vulnerability. How to connect with them on a level you've never had before. Most men will fail at both because they think it's one single skill. Now, the man who masters both becomes more attractive, more respected, and actually builds something that lasts long term. And that's exactly what we're gonna cover here. Everything is laid out for you in school. All 7 pillars, step by step. All you do is you come in and you go straight to the area that you're weakest and you study up. Once you're in, every section has all the information and quizzes that you need, so the information actually sticks instead of going in one ear and out the other. It's self-paced. There is no group calls. There is no mandatory communication or chat or any of that bullshit that no one cares about. It is there if you want it, but you do not need it. Just study what you need and practice it until it becomes second nature, and then start applying it immediately. In the summer of 2017, I was at a party with 2 of my best friends, and they're talking about getting into law school. They had just gotten accepted, they're excited for what comes next and who they're about to become, and I'm sitting there in silence the entire time. $50,000 of debt over my head. I hadn't even finished a degree. So I'm stuck as someone who has no future ahead of them at this point. And I'm watching these 2 guys talk about their bright futures while I'm getting left behind. And I was not less capable than these 2. I knew that for a fact. I just had no direction. And if I didn't find one that night, I felt that I was gonna get left behind for the rest of my life. So after the party, I went home. I didn't sleep a single wink until I tore through the internet for anything that would stop my panic attack at the time. And I stumbled upon Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. Now, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme by any means, but it was an actual system that was followed by millions of ordinary people, and it actually worked for getting them out of debt. And if they can do it, I knew without a doubt that I could do it too, and probably faster than them. So I moved back in with my parents, and every single dollar I made went towards my debt. And I literally mean every single dollar. And the only way that it was working was if I was up at 4 a.m., I trained at 5 a.m., I went to work from 7 to 7 at night. All the while I was in summer classes to finish my degree, day after day after day for 18 months straight. And when the debt was actually gone and the degree was finished, that's when everything kind of hit me. I hadn't just found a system that worked for money. I'd actually just proven to myself that I could take a system and execute it flawlessly for 18 months straight. Now, nobody in school ever showed me how to do that. Not one single class or teacher proved that to me. I had to go and find it myself outside of everything that I was taught, which sparked a curiosity in me. What other systems could I find and run? And if I had the right information with a proven playbook, what was stopping me from being extremely successful at anything that I decided to master? And that's when my hunt began. What's the system for being in incredible shape, or becoming extremely intelligent, or communicating with authority and influence? How do I gain leverage in a room? How do I understand the opposite sex and be seductive where needed? All of these topics were extremely important to me, and they should be very important to you too. Guys, the problem was never your work ethic. It was never your motivation. It was just the absence of a system and information that actually works in the real world. That's what I want to give to you. The way you're currently thinking is what got you here today. Those beliefs are not going to serve you anymore. It's time to build new ones and evolve. And in 180 days, that's exactly what's going to happen.